Hello everybody, nice to see you again. Welcome to the video update for Nanolith. Today it's the 26th of February and here's Maxwell with me, Maximilian Witt.
You just can call me Maxwell like anybody else.
And I'm Mark, and we're here to tell you a little bit more about the production of Nanolith and a few other topics which were questions on Facebook. So glad to have you all here. Let's jump right into the middle of things and start the video.
First, I have to say I'm really excited about how many people want to know a live sign or something else from us and want to know what we are actually doing right now. So how is the production, and especially why you don't make a video update. And Mark and I, we really like to talk.
Let's do a movie.
A movie,
Marc and
yeah.
Max, the movie.
Yeah, it will be a awesome movie. Believe me that.
Yeah, and yes,
Yeah,
but as you said, like it's a good idea to make it as a video again and do one
yeah,
of these video updates. I think we will have like a written update as well, but
yeah,
a video is a really good idea. So shall we start, Max? You ready?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
of
let's
course.
start with the production of Nanolith. How far are we and what is happening? So I will answer this one first because it was like my conversation today with China and with Longpack. We have like almost everything ready. It's just the box cover and the box lids of the two boxes are missing. Catherine is at this moment, like she's texting me in Discord while we're having this conversation. She's texting me and asking how we want the stuff, and everything is coming along fine. We will have this finished this evening, and then I send it to Longpack. And with the bookmark, which was also missing, we now have everything ready, and our partner at Longpack said we can start producing the digital copy sample, so the digitally printed copy, which we will get sent. They will start printing this next week. So beginning of March is production start for the digital copy. This is what our partner said to me just today. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to see the box finally and have it in our hands, but I think it will need a few more weeks to be shipped from China, produced
Yes.
and shipped from China to us. So I
I
expect
think,
that, but yeah.
yeah, I think to get gold on this project, we have to have a full month
Yeah.
or more.
Yes.
Uh, I
Yeah,
think
let's be realistic. I mean, it's end of
yes,
February. It will like arrive sometime in March, and then the
yeah,
real work is starting for us again. I have to get back, and we have to get back into the encounters, and we have to check a
yes,
few things, and we have to make sure that there's absolutely no, like, the wrong back of the card or stuff like this, like,
yeah,
and that everything is readable and the layout is fine and we don't have to change
yeah.
anything. So
So, but for us, I think it's important on this point to say that we are really finished. From our side, we are now on a state that we can say we are finished. We
yeah,
are finished with the work as a designer on the game. We are now work on the design of the product, of the finished product, and take a look to all the components. So, and I think Mark and I, we have some conversation that we say, and we have to realize that we don't can do anything actually. So we have to wait. It's not our turn now.
yeah. I mean, actually, we were finished with it last year, as promised, like before the holidays.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just how it works. There seems to be a lot more time,
Yeah.
effort than
Yeah.
yeah, I myself like estimated. But
Yes.
yeah, we are more on the reactive side now, and we are doing everything we can, like to be as quick with these reactions as is possible. We're working still like full time on Nanolith and on Woodpecker, so we are not like we are really focused on this game, but we only can react right now. It's
Yes.
the
But
manufacturer's
yeah.
part.
But when the digital prototype comes, we anything will be
Yeah,
necessary for us, and we will take all the time to check the last things of the game,
yeah,
um, to make it on a gold state that we can start the production on the game. But it's important to say that that we will take the time to use it. So we don't want to rush now. So even if the prototype come, we the no even if the digital prototype come, we will take the time to check it. So we don't want to say it will be go fast. because we don't know what's happened when it
Yeah,
comes.
it
But
would
we
be
will.
yeah.
It will be awesome.
Yeah, it will be awesome.
Believe
Like to
me.
have finally the game in hands. I mean, this
Yes.
will be really, really cool, and we will take the time to play lots of it again. Like it's
Yes.
really important to have it like analog played with the components
Yes.
Longpack is producing, just to see where all this is going. Yeah.
I just want to say that we are really want give you the best game we can produce. So in any case, with layout, with controlling of the components, of I don't know how the acrylic standees look in the final version. So we have to take a look on that and take a look on the color. So we will really we will zoom in this game again and we'll find any mistakes.
I
We
mean, Max,
not any, not
no,
any,
I mean, it's not,
but
yeah, it's not possible like to find like
anything.
each and any mistake. It's
But we do
perhaps,
anything.
but we will do everything to like make sure that we
Uh,
found everything we could find. So,
yes.
it's really like Max and me did play a lot of Kickstarter games lately. We were playing also together like a few of the things which came, and we won't say any names, but often it's really an issue that you see this last step of the production a little bit hurried, I think. So
Yes.
it's really important like to make yet sure we are that we are a serious publisher, like a professional publisher, and that this project and this product has no of these big mistakes which can happen at this stage so easily and would spoil like years of work. And this is nothing I will let happen to Nanolith and
Yes.
Max as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Of course
if it
not.
takes
So
if it takes a bit of time, it's so be it. But we really hope that this thing is like
yeah,
coming along, and we will. Also, let's speak about like estimate and stuff. I don't want to say anything like super specific, but I want to have it like shipped. I want to have it shipped, and I want to have it in your hands as soon as possible. And this year is the year Nanolith should be released. So
yeah.
let's see where this is
This
going.
is I think the year how it was on the story, the year 2025, the Zulu comes.
Yes, exactly. We
Yeah,
have
so
1 year left before the Zulu come.
yeah, so we have
So
so yeah. So we have to
so
think
much
together.
to the Nanolith production. It's coming along, guys. Just a little bit more patience, and then we will have
Yes.
like the digital copy in our hands, and this is really cool.
We do our best.
Yes. Let's go to the next topic. One of the questions
Yes.
was whether we are planning something for the Nanolith universe in general, and if there is some ideas about a sequel
No.
or or something else. Max, what would you say?
No. There's
No,
nothing.
there's nothing.
Like an old
Absolutely
Jedi,
nothing.
like the old Jedi, I say, there's nothing you can see.
There's
No, we're
nothing you can
planning a
see.
lot. We have a big. The problem actually is that we have a game that nobody have played with a whole universe, not a world, with a whole universe waiting for you to explore. And of course, after I think 4 or 5 years, I don't know how long it takes, especially to build all of them. Of course, we want to build on that and bring that to the next level and bring that or to the future. And I'm really glad that Mark are actually writing our
A
novel.
novel. Yeah.
Novel. I want to say roman, but that's
Yeah,
German.
it's not an English word, Roman, yeah.
A Roman.
A Roman. I'm
No,
building a Roman in my
Roman.
garden house, like a little
Yes,
Roman statue guy. No, a real
yes.
Roman.
No, no, he actually writing our novel in the world of universe. And this novel is really special because this is like is the missing part you will have between Nanolith and Nanolith 2. Yes, we can say there will be a Nanolith 2 when anything works like we want. We have a strong idea what we do in the future, um, but not especially idea how it really works in the details. It's more like idea how we develop that for the future. What is the next step of the game? And we always come to a point. Mark especially say that he was really impressed when he first time played Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation 1, and he comes out of Midgar, and he always tell me about. Can you remember when you come out of the city and see that open world with all the possibilities you can do there? And this is especially what we want to do with Nanolith 2. So it's maybe you can say some details about the novel.
Yes, totally. But first, yes, so let's talk about the novel. Sorry, I had to make a little break. Okay. So the most important thing is, as Max said, it's a missing link, so to say, between Nanolith 1 and Nanolith 2. And yes, we were like talking about Nanolith, about a sequel to Nanolith, like all the time, also while we were preparing or doing Nanolith 1, as it's just like natural if you do the story as big and like evolve it all the time and find all these characters which want to tell their stories somehow. And you have to think about it as when you do the board game or a novel or a story or whatever, or a video game, you as a player, you only see the first layer of things and perhaps the second layer, which is hidden behind like entries and the talking of the characters. But if you're doing it, there's also a third layer and a fourth layer, and you're thinking always more and more. And so a whole universe exists in our minds of which we wanted to explore. And Nanolith 2 will be the possibility for us to do this. And but there needs to be a transition as we want to do something new and innovative and interesting with the Nanolith universe, and something, let's say, somehow also spectacular.
Yes.
And to produce this, there will be like a shift, especially as Nanolith is really a finished story. Like Nanolith is at its end. In the end, it's finished. You will have like the feeling of, yes, you know what happened and where everything came together. And to find a new story, a new conflict, we have to change stuff. And the novel is exactly about this period of time between the two games, but it interlinks, and this is something which is hard to explain if you don't know the book. It interlinks all the time into the past and into the future, as is the logic improvement or the logic way for the Nanolith, as there are many parallel universes which are layered above each other. So it's a nice I'm writing on it since a few months, so I love it how it is developing. And I don't want to spoil too much. It plays in different. It's too early to like tell something about it, but we will finish it this year as well, and it will be like a very important part of the Nanolith universe afterwards.
Of course, and to the mechanics, we can't say anything because we put a lot of interesting mechanics in Nanolith 1, in Nanolith, actually, in the game. We mix some stuff with the exit games or the lobbies, with the comics, with like a narration, storytelling stuff, all of them. But really to say how the mechanics will work, it's too early because we want to see how you enjoy our mechanics in the first game. But we can say there's stuff, it's like you're playing games or you have something in mind and you always have interesting stuff. So the interesting thing I have in the future is I want to bring no, I want to no.
You don't want to spoil it? Okay.
No, it's
Let's
too
just
early.
keep it vague. It's right. We should not like spoil too much of our creative process, as this would be like we would have said that something happens, and then if it doesn't happen, somebody is like it's not correct. So it's really a very intense and creative process in which we are in, and we can't say too much about Nanolith 2, but it will be awesome, as we really love thinking and talking about it, and it will be great.
Yes.
So much for the novel which is coming and the Nanolith universe, which we will expand. Yeah, and then we have like let's talk about miniatures.
Miniatures. Yeah, I have a lot of miniatures.
Yes, you do. Me as well. Like we all have like lots of miniatures at home. I think the viewers as well. I mean,
yes.
But we have to talk about miniatures because like it's a very important part of our life, and
important part of our life.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
I mean, how shall I say it? How should I put it?
Yeah,
Then we often get asked,
like
so how? I mean, the acrylic standees are obviously are fantastic. We love them, and I'm really eager to see the product by Longpack. But as well, like three-dimensional miniatures are beautiful, and we are always like we were extending, like trying to do miniatures for the Essen Spiel last year. We did this. It was quite a success. It was a beautiful sculpt, very well received by the backers and by the people who came by and bought their miniature. Max, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I think especially let us talk about the basic of miniatures. So for me, it's like that. Miniatures is a complete different hobby to board gaming. So not completely different, but it is his own hobby, you know. If you are collecting miniatures, you're painting miniatures, and I do that. The whole room is full about miniatures from the Lord of the Rings, Infinity, Star Wars. I buy a lot of miniatures and paint them and play them. But Mark and I want create a strong story with no limitations and not limitations, with no borders to jump into it. And making a game with standees, they're coming out of the box and they are finished and you can play it. If you are a guy like Mark, then you build up a game, open a new chapter, and start playing immediately when a new character come in. Sit on the table and paint on the desk. When
Yes.
it's finished, you can continue playing. So, or you spoiler yourself, put anything out of your Frosthaven boxes and paint all the heroes. So it doesn't feel so good for us at that point, but we are really, really miniature lovers, and we have with Line Tower Miniatures find a really cool partner but to producing miniatures, and you know the Eliza and the
The
Melith
Melith, yeah.
miniature Melith we make. We're happy that we can announce that Line Tower Miniatures uh, actually the closing his Patreon stuff and jump into production and selling miniatures. So that give us the possibility that we can sell the miniatures, I think, in the next weeks in our store. So they will be in stock in the store and you can buy it. I think this is a good and a great step forward for selling miniatures for a small company like us.
Yeah, totally.
But
And we love like the production and the sculpts of which
yes,
the Lions Tower is
Lance Tower.
producing is great. Like he's doing like really in interesting and like with much details, even in a small scale, and very cool poses. And so I'm really in love with the sculpts and with the work Dan
Me
is
too.
doing there. And we have found like he's a very good and professional partner. So we hope to extend this as well. Like, and then let's see where future is bringing us. Like you can, like we always said, we love miniatures and we would love to do like lots of miniatures, but it's like it's cost intensive. It's from the production part and the planning and marketing part. It's like a lot of
Yes.
stuff to do, and we want to focus as well on our game. And Nanolith has like the priority, so
Yes.
it's
And
not.
and
We
was a
cannot
lot of
start making miniatures full time right now. Sorry, Max.
you have to say like we have a we have a state of quality we want to hold if we are producing miniatures. And that state of quality comes because we're playing with high detailed miniatures.
Yeah, sure.
Really hill-died miniatures
Yeah.
with Infinity, the Warhammer stuff. And I know a lot of people saying there are really good board games on the market. Yeah, there are great miniatures on the market, but I, as a professional miniature player, I don't know. I think there's an English
Yes, that's
company.
what you are.
Yeah,
A not so well paid professional miniature player.
yeah. But I think there's an English company that called us hobbyist. I uh, I see a big gap between board games and tabletop or war games managers. And for Mark and me, is clearly like the sky. If we are producing miniatures, they're on tabletop
They should be
wargaming
like that.
level,
Yeah, this is what we
not
want. It's like
definitely.
it's about these poses. Like you all know these. I mean, if miniatures are just like a little something extra, some plastic which you sell on the Kickstarter campaign, sometimes you get okay miniatures, which is nice. I'm really thankful whenever somebody sends me miniatures. It's beautiful. But yeah, after they are painted, it's cool. I just enjoy
Yeah,
them then. I don't want to be negative about it, but in the moment I get them out, I'm much more excited about the sculpts by specific companies, and I'm much less excited with other
yeah,
sculpts. And I want people to have like open up Nanolith or whatever we produce and say like, oh yeah, that's a cool miniature. I want to paint this
yes.
immediately, and even unpainted, it looks so cool. So this is what we want. And Max, let's talk. Yeah,
Yeah,
please
last
go
step,
ahead.
and now come okay, it's good to say we want high quality miniatures, but how you come to high quality miniatures? First, you need a solid artwork. Then you need a experienced scalper, and then you need a lot of time for making art direction, discussing the sculpts, discussing about the pose, how you can bring the pose that you can scale them up, that they are fit on the bases, that they fit on the battlefield, how you can. There are details on the artwork, the showing not good if in that position. So you can ask Mark. It was for me a lot of work to produce 2 miniatures on that state, and
Yeah, and this is a big step. And then there's something
yes,
else. Like we are
and
right now thinking about the things which we will have in the shop. They will be printed. So it's not
yes,
a plastic injection mold which we are producing, but we are producing printed miniatures right now. I mean, for nanolith, sorry, don't
understand. Yeah,
misunderstand me. Like for nanolith, we have injection mold,
yes,
real like miniature making. But right now, we are also thinking about like having them printed and sold.
yeah,
And
and
because that's mostly because the quality in printing miniatures is like very good. It went up in the last
yes,
years to an incredible state,
yes,
and it really depends on the mixture of the material you use
yes,
and the sculpt that you can have, like that you can level out the problems of printed miniatures.
yeah,
If
yeah,
you do this correctly, you can have like exceptionally good results with printed miniatures. That's
yes,
my experience, at least.
yeah, my too. That and even if you are playing war games,
Yeah,
you know
you're
the
used to printed miniatures. Yeah, the most
you
tabletopers know this. Yeah.
anybody do that. I don't know any person on the hobby don't printing miniatures.
Not printing
Sorry.
miniatures. Yeah, actually,
Uh,
it's like this is the big thing in our club as well. Like
yes,
everybody's
yeah.
printing.
But last point to say, and when I take a look to the time invest, and it's okay, I love the miniatures we're producing, but believe us, there's a really big game in our bag, a whole universe waiting to
Yeah,
explore,
yeah,
to develop,
and to be designed and like to be made playable. Like we have so much things we want to like do with this with nanolith and with woodpecker. If we just
yeah,
produce miniatures, it would be for me it would be yeah.
yeah, we can do that. We can make a smaller
We
game
need
with
more people.
miniatures. Yeah, we need more people. So what we wanted to say, we are really open for miniatures. Let's see what the future brings to us. We have a solid partner for producing miniatures. Maybe we will bring, maybe we will bring another Nanolith miniatures on the store in the future. Maybe for Essen this year. I don't know. If you all want to have more printed miniatures, write it in the comments
Yeah, let
and
us
we
know
can.
so that we
And
see
if
whether there's
anybody
demand.
say, when anybody say you want to have miniatures, then let us know that. It
Yes,
helps that you
totally.
can get them. But I don't say you can get.
Okay, I think this is like the most we don't want to make this too long so that you
Yes.
have like a nice watching time. And so let's come to the last question. Um, we are posting lots of playing games photos, and like we
Yes.
are right now is for me it's a time to fuel up also my creative thinking and my also in this part in the gaming for the in respect to the gaming creativity and the game design creativity. I'm fueling up somehow. So Max, tell me, what are your inspirations right now? What are you playing? What are you reading? What is the stuff which is like your favorite nerd stuff right now?
Yeah, also especially for video games, I'm really happy that I finished all side quests in Final Fantasy 16. So I complete. I think it's the only game I can play it actually on the PS5. I have just like something like the chrono leads. There's some special Esper challenge you can do. I will fit them because I want to have the game complete, that I can jump into the DLC coming up at the spring. And I'm really looking forward to next week when Final Fantasy VII Rebirth come out of the market, and I can enjoy the open world feeling that Mark have in his childhood again, because I have the same feeling in my childhood. Again, in a 3D world, I'm looking really forward. I have played the demo, the actually on the PlayStation Store, and I'm really looking forward. I think it will be a really great game. If you are playing Final Fantasy VII, then show it me. But what I really play, and
Yeah,
where I
what
have the
is
biggest plan, is this game, the Middle-earth strategy battle game published by Games Workshop. They actually call herself Warhammer. Is a miniature game about the Lord of the Rings. You play with armies against, and with my neighbor and Mark. You have to join us for that battle. I bite that. Wait.
Most professional YouTube video ever.
Yes, of course. Well, oh, I lost the book. Forget it. The Siege of Minas Tirith.
Oh, yes, man.
I already have here a couple of Haradrim. I have a boxes of. We can send Mark send a picture in the update how many models I have for that. I will build up I don't know, 2,000 or 4,000 points army Harad with Mordor, with with Easterlings, with all of them stuff, and they will siege Minas Tirith. It will be a huge battle. It will be takes, I think, couple of days to play them. It will be. I'm planning about something about maybe 600 or 700 miniatures. It will be huge, you know. I will show it. The whole table with the siege towers will come into the point, and all of my Gondon fighters will be stand on the on the wall and shoot down. And it's sieges. It's like if you're playing Warhammer Fantasy, you know that sieges are a big thing. They're really complex. They don't make so much fun.
Sometimes not. Yeah. They're not really
honest,
balanced.
They are not balanced,
but they can look incredible.
But they are mind explosion. If you have a whole full table with the walls and you miniatures on the walls, and there comes, you know, here's my Mordor troll coming with his what is the English name for that?
Catapult.
Catapult, with the catapult.
I think so, yeah.
You can
the stone throw or whatever.
Yeah,
catapult. I think is okay.
You can throw dead heads, both heads,
yeah.
cut heads, and they will take down the courage of the of the warriors in the siege, in the fortress. And I don't know why, but I'm really looking forward painting all the miniatures and making a huge siege. All sieges I play on this game was not really good because they are totally unbalanced and they take a lot of time to play them. But we want to do that in a huge
really cool, awesome.
So this is my plan for this year: a Lord of the Rings siege.
Yes, you did this on New Year's Eve. Okay, what
Yeah.
I'm wishing for, like playing the biggest siege ever on my tabletop.
Yes, the Siege of Minas Tirith.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So regarding to my nerd activity, I have a, like as always, I have a period in which I'm reading a lot, so a little bit less crazy than Max. So I was reading lots of cyberpunk literature in the last 10 months, let's say. It was like I had again, even during Nanolith, I was reading a lot of cyberpunk and science fiction literature, but in the last month it was like a really crazy and beautiful addiction. And there was a lot of classics. There was a lot of 80s cyberpunk by Gibson and whoever, you name it. It was like I was reading like through the classics, but I found a beautiful anthology. Over here it is, which I can really, if you're interested in cyberpunk literature and the historical aspects of cyberpunk, and perhaps also the different perspectives of cyberpunk, I can really recommend
this book, cyberpunk.
This anthology. It's like it's really big, yeah. So awesome. It's really a fat book, and there's lots and lots of really cool short cyberpunk stories, beginning in the 19th century. Like there's also, I think, something by no, I'm not quite sure whether there's something from the 19th century, but it's really it's not only the 80s, it's also the 50s and 60s at least. So traditional science fiction, which is coming to cyberpunk stuff. This was like really cool. And then I'm mostly into board games right now, as always. I finished my Kingdom Death Monster campaign in January after months of fighting. And now I'm into Kickstarter games, which are arriving shortly. Mostly was Space Kraken and Agemonia right now, which is like really cool. And this is what I'm doing right now. Good.
And you play Warhammer Fantasy.
Always.
Always.
And Infinity. I'm also like I'm going for tabletop gaming 2 to 3 times a week. So mostly, so at least once per week I play Warhammer Fantasy, like Skaven and Empire, and they had like the release of the Old World, which is something I'm diving into right now as well. But I'm also really back into Infinity and try to play as much as possible because this is just like it's still such a good game, and the longer I play it, the more I appreciate all the details and all the different stuff. And they did something interesting. Corpus Belli released a new deck. Like if you played Infinity, there were always like some objective cards which you could like accomplish as well while shooting the enemy and doing the scenario. But now they changed this deck, and it's not just a few additional objectives, but it's more like you can play a mode in which you only play by cards. This was something which was also present before, but it was not so well done, not so well designed, because you needed very specific units to do specific stuff. So you had to build a list around these cards, which was problematic to say at the least. But now the cards are really like general, and you can play like anything you want. You can come with your big giant robots and just made for shooting, like a list which is just brutal and in the face of the opponent. And even though you can play a cool game with different objective cards laid out, and don't have to play like some silly scenarios which don't work for your list or something. And this is, let's say, some kind of casual mode or something. It's really cool.
It sounds really interesting because I had a big concern in the past when I played Infinity, I don't know, a couple of years ago. It feels sometimes not all faction can be played well because the deck and the missions are so specific that you have really faction that doesn't
It was
it doesn't feel like
it was really problematic. I mean,
yes.
there was also like this thing that you had to have specific weapons to destroy specific
Yes.
objects, and if you play a faction which has no hacking, which there are, Ariadna for example, then it's problematic to get these objectives with hacking and stuff. So it was always a little bit of a gamble and very luck based, and now it's much better, and I enjoy this new way of playing Infinity
Awesome.
a lot. It's really cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, I think that's enough nerd talk from our side.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the time you've got and for your patience and your support. And be assured that the game is coming along nicely and that it's produced and that we will send it out as soon as possible.
And if you
Yes.
want to have more videos like that, read
Yes,
it
comment
down in the
below.
comments.
Tell us if the video format is still viable for you and still interesting. Then we can do more updates like this. And yeah, see you soon.
Yes.
And see you soon. Bye from Woodpecker Games.
Bye bye.